Good day, adorables. I just wanted to come on and shoot a little video. Today is Monday, the 5th, February 5th. I did not get any videos made this last whole hot dog season, and I apologize. I know at least there's a number of people that seem to enjoy the little videos I do, and I want to do more. Time gets away from you, especially this year, and I'm going to explain. We'll get into all that here pretty soon. So today's Monday. Kind of got some updates for you, but I've been getting some pretty good questions lately in comments and emails and the various ways people reach out. First of all, I should say, when I make a video, my customers that come to Diner Dogs, they have access to it, and so there's no secrets at Diner Dogs. There's no secrets with me. The reason I share is because I was where many of you were at, and when I say you, I'm talking to people that tune into our channel, my channel, to maybe get some ideas, tips, tricks, and while they're making the decision to maybe go into the hot dog business, or they're already in and they're just wanting to see how somebody else does it, which I do myself. I love to see other vendors and other hot dog vendors operate and what they do. If I can pick up some tips, if I see a good idea, I'll steal it, and I suggest you do the same thing. If you see anything on my channel, on my card, on my business, if you can use it, you're a fool not to, and it can be successful for you. You're a fool not to take advantage of it. There's nothing, there's nothing new in food. It's just, what do you bring to food? That's the only thing new. What you bring to your business, that's the only thing that's new. Everything's been done before. Bacon on a hot dog. I mean, there's been everything. Cream cheese on a hot dog. Everything has been done. Don't be fooled and think you're going to get the latest, next best thing. It's an American food, and when you realize what a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar business it is, hot dogs themselves, you realize that it's probably, if you've thought of it, somebody else probably thought of it already too. So there's no secrets. But I've been getting a lot of questions, certain themes lately that I see, not just on people that reach out to me, but in other hot dog groups that you may be a part of on Facebook. And the question kind of goes like, how many hot dogs do you sell a day? How many should I bring out on my first time out? Or how much do you make? How much money do you make? What kind of profit do you make? What do you charge for a hot dog? That question, I'd never answer that question that directly. I've had some really amazing days. My worst day was a Monday back in 2021, I think, when I started going out by myself without the lemonade stand. On a Monday evening, it was, I don't remember, but you're going to have good days, great days, okay days, and bad days. You're going to have, it's going to be all over the board. After a while, you'll get a consistent average, and you'll know kind of what to expect. You'll know where your low point is and where your high point is and what your average is. But the reason I don't like to answer that specifically is because I'm going to give you a made up number, but let's say I go out and I sell 50 hot dogs a day. I don't know if that's enough for you. How do you know if I'm thrilled with that or disappointed in that? If I have to do better or else go out of business? You don't have any clue because you don't know what my expenses are, and that's all over the board. There is no template. The best thing to do is to learn from other people, but then do your own research, your own footwork, look in your own at your own distributors and supply sources where you would be buying the product you're going to sell. Because if I told you that if I go out and I'm going to make up a number, if I go out and I make $300 a day, well, then I got to buy a product. So at least a third of that is going to go to a product. So let's say I'm spending $100 on product. And then let's say with a propane, ice, gas, I'm spending another so much, $25 there. So now I'm down to 175. There's taxes. I have no idea what you need to make a day, and I have no idea if you can make what you need in the hot dog business. Nobody can, and people that try to give you numbers and formulas they have no clue, because there's absolutely no way you can absolutely duplicate exactly what I've done. You would have to be me, and in order to reach the level you're going to reach, I'd have to be you. You can reach a great level and make a great income running a simple hot dog cart, in my opinion. But if you talk to somebody that's used to making $100,000 a year and tell them they can make X dollars in a hot dog, they may not see it as the same value. What a lot of people get into this business for is freedom. They're in a career they're sick of, like I was in the auto industry. They maybe had a life change, physical, could be a health issue that they can't do their former job, and they've been looking for something different. Maybe they're semi-retired and they only need to make so much, or it could be like me and it become a full-time thing. You never know. So everybody comes from a different place, and but I think we can share and talk and discuss the challenges of the business in a way that'll allow you to succeed. But the only thing you can do is to get out a notebook or an Excel spreadsheet and start working some of the numbers. You got to start somewhere. Now, let's say you are one of those that are still in the decision-making process, and you think maybe you want to start a hot dog cart. You think that maybe ultimately you probably will, and you've got that in mind, and you've got it in your heart to do it. Where should you start? In hindsight, I can tell you where I would start. I can give you what I would do a little bit different, and it ain't going to make a substantial difference, so this is not the key to success. But where you should be starting right now, you want to get into the hot dog business. What are you going to serve? What's the one thing you're going to need if you are going to start a hot dog business, a hot dog cart? What's the one thing you're going to need to be in business? A menu. That's critical. You can't even get your health department license without showing them your menu and outlining the ingredients and all that. In most places, at least that's how it is in Idaho where I operate. So if I were you, I would start figuring out what is the menu I'm going to serve, what kind of hot dogs am I gonna what brand, where am I gonna get them, where can I get the best dog for the money that people around your area are gonna like, which way are you gonna cook it, so that'll tell you what kind of cart you need. Are you gonna grill it? Are you gonna steam it, boil it? Figure that out. Figure out exactly what toppings. In other words, get out a Word document or some kind of document. I don't care if you do it on a notepad. It doesn't really matter, because we're not talking about something you're going to, that is going to be the final product. But get started on your menu. Figure out exactly what your menu is. What are you going to be selling? I don't care if you don't have a cart. I don't care if you don't have a location, a commissary, a license. If you're just getting started, here's my advice. Start with the number one thing. Your number one goal is to sell food. So what food are you going to sell? Exactly what food are you going to sell? Exactly where are you going to buy that food, and how much you're going to pay for that, how much that's going to cost you, and what are you going to have to charge for that food in order to make a profit, okay? Obviously, location, commissary, kitchen, licensing, cart, all of those things are going to come into play, and they'll all be waiting for you, and you can still be working on those things. But I think I would invest a lot of your energy, if you're just starting out, into your menu. And when I say invest your energy, I mean exactly how are you going to describe the product, how are you going to cook the product. If I walk up to your future location, to your future cart and setup, what am I going to look at? What's my options going to be? Am I going to have sauerkraut? Is it going to be hot or cold? Am I going to have jalapenos? What am I going to have? Tomatoes? You're going to deal with tomatoes. Onions? What kind of onions you're going to do? Red onions, sweet onions, yellow onions? What kind of onions? You're going to have grilled onions? You're going to have fresh chopped? What are you going to have for relish? You're going to have sweet relish, dill relish. A lot of people love dill relish. I love dill relish, but traditionally sweet relish goes on a hot dog. So that's what I offer. Some people do. I got a friend that does both. He has sweet and he has dill. And people love dill. There's no getting around it. Myself, I didn't want to deal with having two, so I use sweet relish. I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm just telling you what I do. So anyway, that I just wanted to explain why I don't come up and say I sell this many hot dogs a day and this is what I don't give those particulars because I want you to reach higher than me. I don't want you to say, oh, I want to be like Richard over at Diner Dogs. I want you to say, I want to be like me at XYZ hot dog cart, whatever your business name's going to be. I want you to reach your own heights, and I want you to be driven to scale up. Figure out how you get started. Get started. Once you're started, figure out how to be consistent. Figure out how to market your business. Figure out how to connect with your customers, because that is key. I tell my customers, hey, if you don't eat, I don't eat. This is what I do for a living. I got to make you happy. I do everything I can to make my customers, and I genuinely love serving people food. Sorry, I've got some background noise. I'm going to explain that here in a minute. That's a slushy machine that's louder than heck. It's a Chinese slushy machine, and I don't know why it just went off, but it'll calm down after a while. So it's Monday. It's February 5th. I told you about why I don't answer exactly how many I sell. It's going to be different for everybody. There might be average numbers that a person could share, but I don't see what the point is. You need to do your own due diligence, figure out if it's something feasible for you to do, and I do suggest save the money to buy a cart. Don't get a loan. Don't start your business in debt. If you don't have the money, figure out what you're going to have to do to make extra money. Drive Uber, sell plasma. I don't care what you do. I've done it all. Figure out what you got to do to get the money and work harder. Because if you can't go to your boss and say, yeah, I need more money, or you can't tell, if you're on Social Security, if you can't tell them, hey, start giving me an extra $500 a month. If you have no ability to raise your income through the income you already have, you need to find new income. You need to figure out a source. You need to work harder. And that's the big message is this business is a lot of work. Don't be fooled. People make it looks easy when you walk up. You got some of my videos, my hometown hot dog vendor video is kind of popular. I hope you can hear me okay. That thing's really loud. But the point is that it looks fun, and it is fun at times, but I've been exhausted as I've ever been in this business. There's times when in 2022, I was open 5 days a week, 4 hours a day, and what that equaled was 70-hour work weeks. Week after week for 6 months, my wife and I both worked 70 hours a week together for 6 straight months, and that got us where we wanted to go. We don't have to do that, but that's what we chose to do. It was a challenge we took on ourselves. So anyway, enough about all that, but if you have any questions, anything I can help you out with, I'm happy to do so, but I can't tell you exactly. I can tell you what I make, but it's meaningless. If I told you I sell 100 a day, or 30 a day, or 150 a day, or 50 a day, it really doesn't tell you anything. Those numbers are something that you've got to do the math on yourself. Figure out what you're going to pay for your product, where you're going to get your product, how you're going to store your product. Do you have the refrigeration? All of those things add up. Thank goodness that thing shut off. All of those things are going to add up, and that gives you a place that you can start today, right now, work on your menu, and as you're working on your menu, you're going to buy jalapenos. So how much is a can of jalapenos? You're going to use relish, you're going to use sauerkraut, whatever you're going to use for your toppings, and whatever you're going to offer your customers. That information you can find out yourself. You ain't going to type it into a Facebook group and say, how do I start a hot dog cart? I mean, you're going to have a lot of people that are just not going to have much respect because it don't sound like you're doing your due diligence. They're going to think you're waiting for somebody to tell you how to do it. And, obviously people want to share what they've done and help people, but it's time to get to work. If you plan on doing a hot dog cart, it's time to get to work. Let's see what your menu looks like. outline it, put it exactly in the categories you're going to do, and the drinks, how much are those going to cost you, where you're going to get them, what are you going to serve. Um, and I say it all the time, and I've been called out on this. Keep it simple, man. Keep it simple. The simpler it is, less it's going to cost you, the less work you're going to do, and you can probably make the same profit. I've got a buddy that I think last year, and as far as the season goes, I think he's made more money than I did. I only went out 3 days a week, but I don't think he went out much more than that. If I don't know exactly how many days he went out, but we were chatting, and I think he made more than me, and his setup is way easier than mine. His menu is a little simpler. He goes the distance. He's got great product, but it's simple. He keeps everything simple. That way he's fast to set up, fast to break down, fast to clean up, fast to put away. So all of that makes a difference. My mantra is to keep it simple. I get called out because I do tend to go a little farther than that. That's me, man. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm driven. I like to push myself a little bit. It's fun for me. It's what I do. I wanted to scale up, and I wanted to fit, that's how come mine, I got the lemonade stand, but all of that is so much work. I mean, it looks easy, but it is a lot of physical work. The less you have to put into it and make the same money, it seems like the wise thing to do. So that's my recommendation on that. Okay, so where have I been? What have I been doing? What's going on? So right now I'm sitting in a little restaurant. Last year, I have another project besides diner dogs that I do that I'm very emotionally invested in, and it's a big commitment. And so that took away a lot of my time. And during the down season, I invested 6 months into bringing that to where it is now. And I don't want to talk about too much about that, but I do have another project, another business project that I do, and I continue to do. So typically I go through the hot dog season and I shut down at the end of October. So I've got November, December, January, February, March, and mostly April where I'm down. So last year when I was down, I invested in that project and I got that up and running to an extent. And then when I reopened last May, and I think that's about the time I did my last video, April or May, when I was just getting ready to start the season. Unfortunately, I'm sorry I didn't get any videos through the year, but that was the last time I did a video. Back then, I was thinking, listen, I can't stand to shut down for 6 months. Can't afford it, I worked hard so I could afford it that one time, but it just wasn't the kind of lifestyle I'm looking for. I'd rather work. Have things to do, and work on my business. When you have to shut your business down for 6 months of the year, you're going to pick up right where you left off. It's hard to keep scaling up. So I thought about a food trailer. I thought about a lot of different things. And I was fortunate, the opportunity to buy a brick and mortar came up. And I was familiar with this place because back in 1991 or thereabouts, 91, 92, I was a truck driver back then, and my mother was still alive, and my mother and my wife opened they just rented this little restaurant and opened Kelly's Country Kitchen in Melba, Idaho. And they ran it. It was about a year and a half. It was less than 2 years. I don't remember how long they were open. And I would come home and I had fun, played around with it. But they were renting the building. And even in that short of time, I think there was 3 times where the landlord came at us for more rent, even though we already had an agreement. I think the 3rd time is when I said, you know what, we're out. This ain't gonna work, because the margins in a restaurant is very thin, and you've got to live off of that little margin that you make, plus whatever you pay yourself. So we knew it wasn't going to work out, so we closed down. Anyway, this place where I'm chatting with you right now is that same location that we were in like 30 years ago. in Melba, Idaho. And the opportunity to buy this building came up, and we thought about it and talked it over, and eventually we said, yeah, let's bring Diner Dogs to a brick and mortar. So that's what I've been doing. We bought it in September. It took us, we got open December 12th. It's been open. We're open Tuesday through Saturday. So we're closed on Sunday and Monday. Today is Monday. I had to come out, even though it's technically my day off, that's no such thing as for a business owner. I had to come out and meet a refrigeration guy because I needed my refrigerator worked on, and it's a very tiny little place, and I'm going to show you around a little bit just so you can get an idea. It's a very old building, very tiny place, but we're very proud of it, and we're doing quite well with it, to be honest. The community has really rallied to support us. So the town is called Melba. I live in Kuna. That's where I'm always doing my videos. And this town is about 13 miles from Kuna, and it's a gorgeous area of Idaho. We have the Owyhee Mountains in the background, but it's just a tiny little old town. And I actually went to school here 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and so I already have a lot of connection. My mother's buried in this town. They got a beautiful cemetery over here, and anyway, so to update you, now we're a brick and mortar. So Diner Dogs now has a brick and mortar. We have a permanent location. Now, in May, it is my absolute plan to continue with the hot dog cart. I didn't open a brick and mortar to stop doing the hot dog cart. I enjoy the hot dog cart. The biggest thing is logistically, it's not going to be easy. Even though now I have my own commissary kitchen, because I don't have to, now I don't have to pay a commissary kitchen. I already have this. I have a commercial kitchen and licensed and everything else. I actually am licensed in 2 health departments. My hot dog cart's licensed with Central District Health, and my brick and mortar is licensed through Southwest District Health. So I'm dealing with 2 different health departments. They're all, so far I haven't had any problems there. Anyway, let me show you around. I'm just gonna pick up the camera. Probably won't have much dialogue. I'm just gonna show you around. We'll even go outside so you can see the front. It's a very old building, it's seen better days, but we're bringing some life back into the old place. So let me show you around here. Let's see if I can flip this around. Got our little sign there. We haven't got a sign out the front door yet. Sorry for the jiggling around. Just walking down the street a little bit so you can see. So there it is. Little tiny town, real quiet. So there's the front of it. We haven't got a sign yet, so that's why I put that little signacade out front during the day. So I'll show you. I hope you can see, because I don't have the viewfinder on or anything. So when we first got the place, it had these signs, these frames, and they had different pictures, and they weren't real meaningful to the business. So I took them out and printed some posters. Our mac and cheesy. Notice we put the mac and cheese under the dog instead of on top. It seems to be a little easier and cleaner. We're doing our own fresh cut fries. Boy, that's a lot of work. Had this sign, this was a gift, that sign there from my sister-in-law. She commissioned somebody to do that. It's quite a cool little sign, so I'm really proud of that. They did our logo on that. The caveman. The caveman with a K is our Kuna High School mascot, and I went to, as well as Melba, I also went to Kuna in high school, so that's our high school mascot over there. So I wanted to name something. Now I got to make something a Mustang because I'm in Melba and they're the Melba Mustangs. So I got to come up with something for that. It's our all-American dog, diner dog. And just to keep people familiar, that's a picture of our hot dog cart operating there at Tractor Supply in Cuna. Some local pictures I put up. I gotta say, it's a pretty old place. We're trying to feng shui it around to where it works for us. There's that loud slushy machine. It's just in cold drink mode right now, so it don't go off as often, so it's not slushed up, but I can switch the mode and that'll slush up real quickly for tomorrow morning. We've got a soft serve ice cream machine. Got to clean. That's a high maintenance item. You got to clean it, and every night you got to clean all the components, take it apart, that sort of thing. This thing has a pizza oven. At one time, this was a little pizza place, so it's got a Hustler Vulcan pizza oven and Class 2 hood. I plan to take those out at some point, but right now it kind of is working. There's my fire suppression system and grill. See, I'm here on a Monday, so I'm going to clean my vents. I'm going to take those with me. I'm going to buy a pressure washer too today, so that way I won't have to take those to the car wash, because that's what I'm having to do. That's why they're so dirty right now. But we do smash burgers, which produces a lot of grease. So in addition to hot dogs, we're doing smash burgers. I keep my chili and my mac and cheese in a little electric steam pan or food warmer, but I use the stove there for. I put my regular water pan and I do our dogs and sausages in there. Fryer. So I had to have this refrigerator worked on today. Looks like it's doing great now. It wasn't keeping the low enough temp, so it's very small. That's all the refrigeration I have, is that refrigerator and this little cold table, and then the freezer. But that's really all we need, because we do fresh fries, never frozen burger, little prep sink, dish room, really tiny place. The other thing I got to do, and Wednesday we're getting a new ice machine, so I'm getting rid of the Atasa and getting an American-made one. This one I've had a few problems with, and I just don't have time to play with it. Storage, as you can see, is a real problem for us. Nobody really needs to come back beyond the bathroom wall there. So it's not too bad, but eventually we'll get it feng shuied around where we don't have stuff in the hallway. But you do what you can do. Little bathroom. All the locals put their cards in here on the bulletin board, and that's my granddaughter. One time she came to our hot dog cart, and she wanted me to take her picture. I thought that was cute, so I made a poster out of that. And there's me, picture of me. That was July 4th, 2020, the first day before I'd ever sold my first hot dog. But I had the cart and was ready to go, so we were at Tractor Supply, and that's the very first day before I ever sold a dog. So a little nostalgia stuff. But anyway, so now you understand why I haven't been doing a lot of video. Sorry for all the bouncing around. I hope I captured everything, because I couldn't see through the viewfinder when I was videotaping. Anyway, I don't have a lot more to say. I just want to let you know we have a permanent location. We plan on being back out there in May. Me and my daughter-in-law will probably be on the hot dog cart, my wife and my crew. I've got 3 employees plus my wife and myself, so we'll probably have to find someone else to also help out once the spring hits. But other than that, that's what I've been doing. If you have any questions, want to reach out to me, please don't do it on our Facebook page. But you're welcome to email me at any time. It's eat, at dinerdogs.com is the email address. You can email me anytime you want, leave a comment. I do my best to reply to them all. If I missed you, I'm sorry. But by the way, thank you for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and I enjoy that people are getting something out of them. It seems like they are anyway. And if you have questions, comments, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What would you like to see? Just because I'm not posting often don't mean I don't have it in mind to continue with my channel here and continue to share whatever I can that might help other people. So anyway, Richard Paul, Diner Dogs, peace out.